there are a ton of people in our chats and on social media who are calling for a sweep, but there's also a lot of people who are not willing to go that far just yet from the Minnesota side of things.
Hank McCoy.
Yeah, I think people got to chill a little bit. I'm going to take a perspective as if I was a Minnesota fan. Let's say I was a Minnesota fan. I'm rooting hard for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I'm asking myself, is this Timberwolves team really good? Is this team really about it? Well, if they are, they'll come here in Phoenix and get at least one. That's what they need to do. If I'm a Timberwolves fan and the Suns come here and get two, I'm nervous because I'm saying all that hard work and all that momentum and all that doubt that we put into the Suns' head, we just lost it in 2 games. And now we have to go back in Game 5 and win a Game 5, and Phoenix has a Game 6 in their back pocket. That's where I think it's different. So I think they had pressure in Game 1 and 2 to perform well, but they weren't it wasn't do or die best style. I think if it's 2-2 at Game 5, if then you want to talk percentages, I would love to see those percentages of who wins the series when you win a Game 5.
Yeah.
Right?
But
When
still,
it's 2-2.
If that team that tied it at 2-2 started 0-2, it's still 7.3%.
Yeah. Man, potato.
I'd like to tell
bro.
you it changes.
Yeah, potato. Listen. So again, I do think there's an opportunity for the Suns to do what people have done to them. Go out there and play this game on Friday. I'm not getting too far ahead of things. You got to take care of Friday. If you take care of Friday, the playoff thing happens. What we say, again, we say it all the time. When you win in the playoffs, you feel like you're never going to lose again. And when you lose, you feel like you're never going to win again. The Suns win Friday. Now they're, okay, we got some momentum. We prove we can beat this team. Now, if we get one more on Sunday, yeah, it's a big Game 5 in Minnesota. Another thing is it's not as easy as people think to win 4 home games in a series. Go back and look at the history. I mean, the Suns proved it. This was a home series against the Mavericks. We're at home, you're at home, we win, you win. And that decisive Game 7, the Suns couldn't win that Game 7 at home. So it's hard to beat a team 4 times in the same place. We'll see what happens.
So I'm not counting the Suns out entirely with this series here whatsoever. And I was talking to some people from Minnesota today, and they were saying, you know, as much as the fan base is really hype and excited about the Game 1 and Game 2, because they kind of have done a 180 similar to us. They kind of thought they had the short end of the stick within this series, right? So them going up 2-0 on the Suns has been incredibly exciting time for them, as it should be. They should be stoked right now. But there are a couple people who still have some hesitation. A lot of people are not buying into the sweep idea whatsoever from Minnesota. They know that their defense will travel, but they have questions like, to what level will this defense travel, especially from an individual perspective? Like Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah.
How many more games in this series are we going to get that level of a performance from him? Are there going to be a couple games where he maybe, you know, drops down 25, 30% on what he's able to do in those games? You know what I mean? So there are a ton of people in our chats and on social media who are calling for a sweep, but there's also a lot of people who are not willing to go that far just yet from the Minnesota side of things.